Hi guys, Transformational Tuesday, and I am here to talk to you guys because I had another idea that came across my mind, but then I thought about it. For all the people that was at She Is Me, My Sister's Keeper event, y'all got this book, and I hope you're putting it to good use because I am. And I looked in this book today, and I was in one of the things that she put in here is, what does the Creator say about you? And we need to know what God is saying about us. And one of the scriptures she used was Psalms 139:14, and it says, I will praise you, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Marvelous are your works, and that my soul knows very well. And that just put me on a path to thinking about, how God uses us in our circumstances, and how he has equipped us for every issue or anything that we will have to deal with in our life. And if we surrender to his goodness, then everything that we deal with will only be temporary. We can't make somebody like us. We can't make somebody appreciate us. We can't even make them acknowledge that we play an important part in their life. But what we can do is operate in our purpose and the purpose that God sent here for us to fulfill. And every time I look in this, in the book, it makes me think that, God has certainly purposed our lives for just a time as this, with the way the world is right now. Galatians 4:22 and 23, it says the fruit of the Spirit. And we're going to be ministering on that all this month. And you probably hear some of the fruit repeated as the different ministers go through their interpretation of what it's saying. But one of the gifts is love, and I have been on love for a long time, but because love is never ending, there are so many ways to look at how love is. And I had been having a challenge with resentment, the word resentment, and what it stood for and how it affects us in our lives. And one of the things that I know to be true is that I had a issue going on with resentment with somebody. And I had to face that thing because God said that love is kind, and love is genuine, and love overlooks imperfection. Because what we have to do is, when we resent things, the resentment means not feeling as if you were not treated right, and therefore you're carrying this emotional scar along in your life. And you cannot have that emotional scar and have a full life without removing the hurt, or I'm going to call it infection, from your own body. The way I understand it for myself is, we have to operate in forgiveness with people and with folks, okay? Because holding on to the resentment means that I'm holding on to the old hurt. I'm not looking at what God did. He told us to operate in forgiveness. He told us to love our neighbor as we love ourselves. He told us to be kind, to be helpful, to be compassionate. And all those things come with being honest with yourself as well. Acknowledging that the hurt is there, and then being able to move from that. Because some of the reasons that we stay in a hurt place is because we will not release people from the hurt. Or more than that, better than that, we won't release ourselves. And what that does is it holds us in the past. And if you want to be held in the past, then you keep holding on to that old hurt. It's going to be triggers that come along, and every time you think you're moving forward from that place, the trigger comes and pulls you back into it. And we have to recognize the importance of loving, the importance of being in a forgiving state so we can move on from all those old hurts and stresses and everything else. The only person that you need to please is yourself and God. Acknowledge that you are here to do his work. And I'm going to say, like my pastor says, is to do it unto God. If you're doing it unto God, then he's going to be pleased. And that's a fact. And I wanted to give you some real wise tips as we move along in this process called life. And one of the things is that we should always go to your divine source. That's God. Go to God. Go to God. Go to God to help you, because you can't do all the things that I'm talking about in your own strength. You can't keep you won't be able, you won't learn how to love people without God's strength. You won't learn how to embrace people without God's strength. You won't learn how to just love your neighbor as you love yourself without God's strength. You won't even know how to love yourself without God's strength, because we find so many imperfections with our own self. You know, I can look in the mirror every day and I'll find something wrong with me. Though I love myself, the first person who's going to be the worst critic on me is going to be me. You know, so it's always the battle that we have with ourselves. It's always that battle. And then, you know, embrace change. Y'all see me on here and I look different every time I have different hair on or whatever, because I love hair. And I want to look at something different when I'm looking in the mirror. I used to do it because I'm like, oh, my husband have a different woman every time you turn around. He didn't care about that, though. That was just me being silly. But embrace change and be okay. Look, if God changed something, he's trying to teach you something. He's trying to get you to gain something. He's trying to get you to recognize that just because it changed don't mean it's a bad change. It could be change for your good. And no, I know it's changed for your good. And when something first happened, no, it don't feel like it's a good change. It don't feel like it's for your good. But believe me when I tell you, a lot of it could be just for your good. And we have to know that standing in the gap, praying, having an intimate relationship with God, standing on your foundation of prayer and worship and praise to the Father, it will open up doors and windows, and the blessings will pour out where you won't have enough room to receive those blessings. I'm telling you. I'm telling you what I love. And another one I want you to think about is loss. Not necessarily the loss of a loved one or anything like that, but just losing. Sometimes we need to lose the things that hinder our lives. Lose the things that don't bring peace to your life. Lose the things that cause you to be mean. Lose the things that change the way you see yourself. The negative stuff. Just lose the things that have no bearing on how you live and what your life is going to be. We can't carry around loss and negativity and think everything is going to be all right, because it's just not. I try my best to be present and to be happy. I try my best not to think about what's going to happen in the next few minutes, because that is not even promised to me. The next second is not even promised to me. We have to live in the present. Be in the present. Do the things that God is telling us to do. Man, I try so hard to love people. I remember telling one of the pastors at my church, I said, man, I hate this person. And God chastised me right there. No, you don't hate her. You hate her behavior. You don't hate her. But I verbalized what I thought I was feeling. And we have to lose those kind of feelings. So that goes back to operating in the ultimate fruit, which is the fruit of love and the fruit of the Spirit. In Galatians, y'all, 4:22 and 23. And you know what? I just have to say that if we become more aware of our path, the path that we've been set here to do, the path that God has placed on our lives, because look, we all came here with an assignment. We know that. If you don't know it, you need to figure it out. That you are here purposely. God needs a man to do the work of the kingdom. And if you're that man, allow him to use you. Allow him to do the work of the kingdom through you. If it's giving, serving, whatever it is that you need to do to fulfill your purpose, please make that happen. Okay? That's my tidbits for you guys. And I also wanted to for all the people who came to my Sister's Keeper event. Y'all, do you love the cup? She is me. And the butterfly is forever in transition. He does not have a long life, but we do. But the illustration of what he goes to get to this place, to get to the beauty of the butterfly, to gain his wings. Those are the kind of things you need to see. How am I going to gain my wings? How I'm gaining my wings? What is it that I need to gain my wings? I am you. You are me. The tree, illustrating the life, the vines, the connections. Every one of us is sisters. Every one of us is going through something. And each of these have symbolism in them. The tree is connected. All of us are connected and rooted in the tree. And I'm telling you right now, all of us have a part to play in each other's lives. So if you have these already, y'all, enjoy your cup, enjoy your coaster. More than anything, enjoy this book. Put it to use. It's not for anything. This was the She Is Me edition, but Source Transformational Coaching is going to be something to talk about. God has always had that plan available. They just had to reach in and pull it out. Just like he's setting you on your path right now, everything that you need, he already put in you. And it's time for you to reach in and pull it out. Reach in. Reach in. And pull it out. Take what's in there and pull it out. All right. I love y'all. Thank you so much, so much, so much for being a part of my life and a part of what I do. A part of my path. A part of what God has called me to do in my life. I appreciate you guys. I just love y'all so much. Have a fantastic Transformational Tuesday.